I guess it was our British division. But again, you want to keep the perimeter inspected. If you have a large enough group, you want to break people down to patrols to make sure, there's not one zombie that's banging on a wall that's attracting more zombies. Make sure things are fortified, establish sentries. Again, that goes back to inspect the perimeter. Build a wall. I mean, if you have the materials to do something, make secondary ways of blocking zombies. Barbed wire is more to just slow things down, especially other people, because don't forget, civil unrest is going to come before zombies do, or rather before massive zombies do. And the moat we're not going to talk about because that's stupid. And the early warning system, motion detection lights, something that's not going to make enough noise to alert other zombies, but enough noise or sound, or I mean, sound is noise. Hey. Enough noise to alert you, but not alert them, or light that you can notice that'll just wake you the hell up. Nope. Okay. Once you've settled in, dig a latrine. Everybody poops. Me, you, everyone except for girls. And like the phrase says, you don't poop where you eat. You want to have one place. It's a sanitary issue. It's it's going to affect people's general health for long-term survival. It's just something that people don't know how to do. They should know how to do. It's nasty, but you got to know what to do when you got to do. Build a garden. We did this during World War II. This country can make gardens to sustain ourselves for a while. Brush up on Home Garden Network and get your green thumb going. Run patrols. Again, you want to keep active, never get lazy, always be alert, be vigilant. Maintain a low profile. Just because you settled down, you haven't seen a zombie in a couple weeks, doesn't mean that you can make all the noise you want. You can't be throwing house parties, getting wasted, blaring that hippity hop you youthful folk like. Keep entertained. Again, I skipped disposable bodies. This goes back to the hygiene thing. If other survivors die or kill some zombies in your area, you want to get rid of the body, mainly because the smell's going to get to you, and there are just general health concerns with having a rotting corpse on your front door.
And also it might attract other zombies.
It might, depending on what kind of corpse it is, one of theirs or one of yours, or somewhere in between, a Twilight fan. I hate them. So hard. LOL hard. Thank you for the pity applause. Keep entertained. Again, the whole cabin fever thing. You're sitting there, you're bored, you get fatigued, you start turning on each other. That's not a good idea. You want, keep spirits high. Once people start kind of giving up hope and they start getting really depressed, that's when, people start offing themselves, offing each other. So, do what you gotta do. Just, don't break the low profile rule. Play chess, because that's fun. Have an escape plan. Again, this goes back to the fire drill thing. You know how to get out. Don't get caught with pants on the ankles going, I thought this was a completely impenetrable fortress. That's what Dr. Doom does, and he gets screwed. Hold emergency drills. Keep everyone on their toes. Again, it's the same thing over and over again. Know how to get out. Make sure everyone knows what to do. Have, backup plans A through Z. All right, so this is broken up between what I call good idea, bad idea. Houses, apartments, prisons, small private airfields. All those are, on one hand, good idea, one hand, bad idea. The houses, I mean, again, they're common. A lot of them are kind of easy to secure. You take apart some staircase, and there you go. You have extra wood to fortify windows, what have you. Bad idea, you're limited for supplies. And if you get surrounded, you're kind of screwed because, unless you know how to crowd surf zombies without getting bitten. Apartments. This is more for, the city folk, not us simple country bumpkins. If you can block off staircases, secure floors, then you're set. Zombies won't be able to get up to you, but you won't be able to get to any supplies to refresh yourself. We've had some people toy around with the ideas of making catwalks in between different apartment buildings. But that would require a large number of survivors, obviously. Not to mention that apartments have a lot of people in them, which means a lot of zombies in them. So they're more on the bad idea side. Prisons, again, like I said, I kind of like that idea. It's built to keep people in who are smart and, well, kind of smart and very violent. So it should keep zombies out who are very dumb and very violent. Again, the only problem is, depending on how soon you go there, it's got a lot of prisoners. Chances are they can take you. Small private airfields. These are kind of nice ideas just because of the fact that there's a lot of open space. You can see something coming from a very long distance.
You have the watchtower, so you have
Exactly.
a sniper point.
You have, a great place for sentries. I recommend reading Day by Day Armageddon. If anyone here hasn't, show of hands. Alright, a couple people know what I'm talking about then. It goes over actually a lot of the pros and cons of the airfield. Essentially the fence, which helps a lot. Police stations. If you go there, you're stupid. Like I said, the first thing that's going to happen is civil unrest. Everyone's going to go to the police station. Everyone's going to go to the hospitals. And if you're like me, you're thinking, you know what? It's the apocalypse. No one's watching the mall. No one's watching the Lexus dealership. The mall's going to be flooded with looters too, which is going to mean it's flooded with zombies. All these places are just going to have major infection problems, and before you can get any supplies, you're probably going to get killed. You need a pretty sizable force. Capitals and government buildings. Again, people are going to start flooding here the very first sign of problems, so you're going to go there and you're not the first one to have that idea. You're either going to end up getting shot by some other survivors, or bitten, or just waiting to get eventually overrun. Again, this goes over the problems that I mentioned with living here. Urban areas, high risk, large population, living or undead. Congested roadways, and you can cross them there. If necessary, you want to cross them quickly in broad daylight. You want to see what's going on. You don't want to get caught in the dark in New York in general. Add zombies to the mix, and that's just a bad time. Depending on how sane you are. Anything you want to add to that?
No, I think you got it down. I don't want to be in New York in general. Especially if there's not zombies.
This is a bad idea, but I'm going to say, go Red Sox.
You're going to get shot.
I know, it's fun. Infighting, the best ways and resources. Okay, alternative threats. Feral animals. Fido is going to kill you. Other people over a can of beans. I'm going to kill you. Let's face it, I'll feel bad about it. I really will. I'll say some nice words after I do it. But if it comes down to me and my family over you and your boys, yeah, no. Quislings. These are, again, from World War Z. These are people who have gone psychotic, PTSD, they've broken down, they've snapped, they're beyond help. They think that they are zombies. They walk around like zombies, they moan like zombies, they'll try to bite you like zombies. But they're not zombies. And the zombies know that, because they'll get eaten. Again, they pose a major threat in the sense that A, they're going to try to eat you, which is weird, and B, people in your group might want to help them. They're going to see them and try to empathize and say, we can help them, we can get them help. No, you can't. Unless you have a nice secure base and a psychiatrist on board, and a lot of time, you're not going to help them.
I was going to say, that takes too much time and energy to shoot them in it.
Exactly. I mean, it depends on if they've gotten out or not. I mean, again, a lot of bodies. The man cannon. Nature. I mean, let's face it, Mother Nature's a bitch. And anyone who's seen any natural disaster, earthquakes, tsunamis, hurricanes, I mean, in our best of times, we get screwed over by these kind of things. So in our worst of times, when we don't have, FEMA to help us out like they do anyway, or the National Guard to help us out, a hurricane could take us. So you want to, prepare. I go back to the zombie survival guide. If you're prepared for a zombie outbreak, you're probably prepared for anything. You want to know where you're going for a storm shelter, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Even though you won't have the Weather Channel, unless you know the storm's coming. Maybe in EM, I don't know. Infighting. Again, this goes back to a lot of the keep entertained stuff. You want to keep spirits high. You want to make sure that your leader can, keep control. Because you don't want people second guessing his authority. You don't want people arguing over who's going to go where, fighting over what they're going to do next. Because, again, the group breakdown is going to end up killing you. If you don't sit together, you're not going to make it. And the mental emotional breakdown. You don't want to have a midlife crisis when your neighbors are trying to eat brains out. And that brings us to the Q&A. Also, I believe, yeah.
I don't get it.
We is cool. Somebody give me it. Just want to check the time, make sure that I haven't, run out yet, although I'm sure that one of the friendly staff people would yell at me if I did. No, we got a while to go. So, Q&A. All those questions I told you to hold off on. Let's hear them. You back there, because you had your hand up first.
Earlier, is Mike listening?
Yes, his name is Mike.
Mike was talking about the weapons. He was saying assault rifle would be the best type of primary weapon. I would have to agree. I have to say maybe a bolt action rifle or a semi-automatic. That makes you think about every shot counts.
All right, yes. The comment was that Mike had said that an assault rifle is the best weapon, and the gentleman disagrees and says that a bolt action or semi-automatic is a much better weapon. I agree completely. We actually have a lot of arguments within our own group about this kind of stuff. I believe that assault rifle leads to what I like to call rock and roll syndrome, where you think you are Rambo and your clip never dies. You aren't Rambo, your clip will die, and so will you. I keep a small semi-automatic hunting rifle and a lot of semi-automatic rounds, just because, I'm smarter. Gentleman with the sleeves. Tattoo sleeves, not shirt sleeves.
I'd recommend a M16A4. It's very low amount of kick, and you can set it to single fire, and has the A4 has the attachment for almost any kind of mount system, like scopes and.
Right, yeah, the M16A4s, the M4s, like all those rifles that have all the fittings for attachments, they're all great. But it just basically breaks down to what you get your hands on. Some people know how to get their hands on those, they can get them before the outbreak happens. A lot of people can't get those even before the outbreak happens, let alone find them afterwards, mainly because of government restrictions beforehand and such. If you can get it, more power to you, whether by means of law or not. Okay, I didn't really see whose hand went up, so Mike, you pick somebody.
You in a red shirt.
Right in my decision. Okay.
Yeah, important point I think you forgot to mention is to go north during such a zombie outbreak. You get up north far enough, they freeze. Of course, there's a certain issue of survival there, proper gear, proper equipment. Hey,
Yeah.
Can you guys expand on that a little bit?
Well, where to go for terrain-wise, I like to say stick to what you know. So that's why we don't really cover it too much, because if I tell people to go north, and you go north, and then you starve to death and freeze to death, that's kind of on my soul. And let's face it, when I meet my maker, I don't want to have all of you out there going, we gon' kill you again. I mean, I could go north because I know a lot about that kind of survival. If I went to the desert, I'd be boned. I mean, I'd go from Bear Grylls to screwed very quickly.
And also, let's face it, certain people are just used to certain things. You don't want to tell a guy from Texas, go up to the, tip of Canada.
I mean, the travel time for him alone would, get him probably killed because he can't take the freeway, can't take, a helicopter at random.
Indeed.
Gentleman in the white shirt here.
If it came down to it, would you resort to cannibalism?
Hell yeah. I mean, let's face it. People have done it in the past.
What it does to a human body when you eat someone as
You get the
If
shakes.
it comes down to me not having any
and not
alternative.
Book of Eli. It actually will
Oh yeah,
harm you
it's not good for you,
on
but
a
I
very,
mean,
very bad level. You're gonna have brain damage.
if I get to the point where I have no alternative, I mean, I've probably gotten to the point where there's nothing else for me to do anyway. It's just gonna fill my stomach so I can go on for the next day. I mean, I'm just gonna be like,
yeah, I
screw
guess
it.
once maybe, but if you
Yeah. Oh no, I'm not saying I'm gonna go around killing people and eating them. I'm not gonna go Hannibal Lecter on anyone's ass. I'm just saying, oh shit, the elves froze over. I'm stuck here for a while. Oh no, Mike died. There's a lot of meat on his ass. Let's see. I'm sorry, I didn't see whose hands went up first. I'm thinking of a number.
Actually, you know what?
Make the number with your hands.
That was a bad idea.
I see it too. I'm a very simple person. Small